Hi, Desmond Dennis.
Hi, Desmond.
And with the happy family.
So when I was in 6th grade, my first job was sweeping hair at the barbershop. And them dudes were some of the cheapest dudes on the planet. I worked 5 hours a day. I would leave with $10 in my pocket. Each barber would pay me out separately. So the first barber, he would just sneak out without even paying me. And he thought I didn't see him, but I did. You know, just being a kid, I was just too much of a scaredy cat to say anything. So I would always say, I'm gonna let him slide. The second dude, he would give me about $2. And he seen the disappointment on my face. So he would always say, knock, knock. Knock, knock. And I would ignore him because he's done this to me every day since I worked there. Knock, knock. Who's there? Cheap. And then I would say, cheap who? Cheap. That's a joke. I'm cheap. The third dude would give me $5, and I was cool with that. But the last dude, the guy who gave me the job, he would give me $3. That pissed me off, and what pissed me off more than making $2 an hour is that he promised me free haircuts, and I never got one. So when my brothers and I were little, our parents would give us each $100 for Christmas. Xbox 360 just came out, and that's all I wanted. The only problem was Xbox 360 cost way more than $100. So I went to eBay.com. I couldn't believe it. I actually found an Xbox 360 for $99. So without any hesitation, I pressed the button. Buy now. I kept checking my email for a tracking number of some sort, but instead I received an email that read, download your Xbox 360. At this point, I'm confused. Like, how do you download a physical Xbox 360? Is there a special printer that I need? I just don't get it. So I opened the email and downloaded the attachment. This is when my heart dropped. It was a picture of a Xbox 360. I went back to eBay and reread the description, and at the bottom in very small font, it said, this item is not an actual Xbox 360. Oh, they got me. My parents didn't give me any more money, so my Christmas was ruined. So like I said in one of my previous videos, I used to be a class clown, and my parents were fed up with it. They said, anytime you get suspended, you're getting butt whooping. That really hit home. No laugh is worth a butt whooping. So I turned over a new leaf, and that didn't sit well with my classmates. Every class needs a class clown, and that was my job. They started asking me what was wrong, started saying things like, oh, Desmond's not funny anymore. And you know I couldn't let them talk about me like that. So I started doing what I do best. Standing in the principal's office, and he said the words, guess what, Desmond? You're suspended. I started shaking, ran out the school, and into the woods. I called my mom and said, I'm running away because I just got suspended and I don't want to get a spanking. She said, no, honey, just come home, just come home. So I ran home, and when I got there, everyone was there. My parents, the principal, the police. At that moment is when I realized that I made this situation way worse than what it really was. So I just started trying to make myself cry because, you know, that makes things a little bit better. I was grinding for a whole year, but I didn't get a spanking. So when I was in 7th grade, I had a crush on this girl, and I wanted to impress her. So I entered the talent show. I was gonna sing the biggest song of 2007. Let me take you down. I really wanna take you down. Oh, she gonna be all on me. The only issue was if you had 3 suspensions, then you couldn't perform. And I already had 2. I was the biggest class clown ever, and I was proud of it. You know that one kid that would just do anything for a laugh? Like making silly pictures the background of PowerPoint slides? Yeah, that was me. But with this talent show coming up, I couldn't be a class clown anymore. And you can't just turn that off. I was at my desk looking like I had the chicken pox because I was just itching to do something bad. My teacher could see it too because he was like, I bet you ain't gonna make it. I know you ain't gonna make it. And he was right because he stepped out the class for 1 minute and I couldn't help myself. I jumped on the table and started dancing, and before I knew it, that man was back. I didn't try to argue or nothing. I just got down and headed to the principal's office. And my teacher was like, I knew you wasn't gonna make it. So we all know every school has a bully. At my school, our bully was Brayton Smith. Everyone was scared of him because he was known to enjoy beating people up. Sometimes it seemed like even adults were scared of him too. I was terrified of Brayton, so I just got smart and became his friend. It wasn't always easy being Brayton's friend though. He punched me for no reason. I had to laugh at all of his jokes or he'd give me the look. And he always ate my lunches. But it was worth it. At least I didn't have to worry about him beating me up like other kids did. But one day, Brayton and our classmate Zai started teasing each other. Zai's jokes were so funny, and I chuckled at one of them. I looked at Brayton, and Brayton was giving me the look. He told me to come here, and I did because he's my friend. Then Then he put a pencil on his shoulder and said, "Knock the pencil off." I thought it was a joke, so I knocked the pencil off. You know what that means? I'm gonna beat you up after school. My eyes lit up. Notice he didn't say we're gonna fight. He said he's gonna beat me up. Oh, he's confident. When the last bell rung, I was the first person out the school. I hopped on my bike and pedaled like I stole something. So let me finish the story. After Brayton Smith said he was going to beat me up, I avoided him for a whole week. I heard he was getting more and more mad every day, and I just didn't understand. Why does Brayton want to beat me up? I didn't do anything to the guy. Knock the pencil off. It must have been his favorite pencil. So I thought, hey, I'll buy him new pencils and then we can be friends again. So the next day after lunch, we were outside and Brayton started walking up to me. Cool, I can give him the pencils. My friends later told me that when he got up to me, he said, "Are you ready?" I didn't hear him because I was reaching in the bag to get the pencils. When I looked up, he punched me in my face. I was already on the ground, so all I could do was cover my face. Oh, somebody help me! The teacher was scared of Brayton, so he called security. They finally got him off of me. He was suspended from school. I was treated like a hero because now everyone could walk around the school in peace. That is until Brayton's suspension is over. We all knew, in a matter of days, Brayton will be back. So in school, I wasn't really into sports. I was the music kid. When we played basketball during recess, I was faithfully in the bottom to be picked. There were two things I would do anytime I got the ball. I would pass it or accidentally turn the ball over. I played so bad one game, it was the talk of the day. Students heard about it, teachers heard about it, even my dad heard about it. I heard about your airball at school. Grab your stuff. We working on your shot today. We went to the courts and I started doing what I do at school. No, son. Hit the wall, let it flow. Hit the wall, let it flow. Okay. Hit the wall, let it flow. Oh my goodness. I made this shot. The next day, I was ready. I wore Jordans to school and everything. We would shoot for team captains, and when it was my turn, I remember my dad's words. Hit the wall, let it flow. I made it. Oh, today, y'all. The game starts, and I just keep on passing the ball. Recess was almost over, and we were down by 2. I got the ball, and my dad's words hit their mark. Hit the wall, let it flow. I airballed, and we lost the game. So for as long as I can remember, my grandpa had the nicest lawn in the town. Everyone knew not to step on it, or else. The family knew, the mailman knew, even animals knew to stay off his lawn. One day, I started riding my brand new bike to my grandparents' house because my friends lived near there. I was pedaling really fast, and as I was approaching the house, I realized the brakes were too hard to press and I couldn't stop. My bike rolled right into the middle of my grandpa's lawn, and my heart dropped. The whole neighborhood got silent and was staring at me. No one has ever made it to the middle of the lawn, and they wanted to see what was about to happen. All of a sudden, my feet were in the air. I looked up, my grandpa had both of my hands in one of his hands. No, grandpa, no, I'm sorry. He whooped me so bad in front of everyone, no one has been on his lawn since.
Make sure to destroy this video. Enjoy this video. Make sure to get this video a like and subscribe. A comment and a view. You not want to wait for more Desmond Dennis? Go to the YouTube Coach Carol Cody. You can see quotes by me, Desmond Dennis. But okay guys, see you soon. Peace, bye.